seniors left for hours in soiled diapers and linens, seniors crying out for food and water, left dehydrated and hungry. After seeing the report, the Prime Minister said he was sad and frustrated. But 2 years later, there's been no action. When will the Prime Minister legislate standards in long-term care to protect our seniors?
They were among the most horrific discoveries of the COVID-19 pandemic. Appalling conditions in some of Canada's long-term care homes, conditions that continue to offend the conscience. Now there's a new set of standards for long-term care in Canada, but they're only voluntary. The NDP calling on the Liberals to pass these standards into law and reminding them that a deal is a deal.
What I will say again is that the Conference and Supply Agreement that Mr. Trudeau signed with Jagmeet Singh obligates both parties to bring in safe long-term care legislation. So there's a reason for that, and that's because we know that without federal national legislation, there's no way that you can enforce these standards across the country.
But the issue falls chiefly within provincial jurisdiction, the Prime Minister saying as much while going into Cabinet.
Obviously, these are conversations that we have on an ongoing nature with the provinces. We recognize the responsibility and the jurisdiction of provinces in these areas, but I think all Canadians, regardless of the order of government, want seniors to have the best quality of care possible, and that's what we're going to continue to work on.
Coming out of Cabinet, the Minister for Seniors welcomed the new standards, but pointing chiefly to things her government has already done rather than what it intends to do.
Budget 2021, we actually put aside $3 billion to make sure standards of care are met and that permanent changes are made. And of course, we're going to continue to work with provinces and territories in their efforts to support those long-term care standards in their own communities.
The provinces and federal government are reportedly close to a new funding agreement on health care, but the health minister seemed reluctant to tie that new funding to meeting long-term care standards, something the NDP had suggested.
Now we are looking forward to sign agreements with provinces and territories to see how they can use those dollars to further meet these new standards.
But within the House, the issue seemed removed, with the opposition focusing instead on the issue of McKinsey contracts.
They say they're going to be there for the people most in need, like the $1,000 an hour consultants over at McKinsey, a company that received over $100 million for work that public servants say was of little or no value.
In Ottawa, Xiao Li, City News.